Ciao Tifosi, welcome back to the Italian Football Talk channel. Myself and Graham will be running through the preview of Italy versus Switzerland happening on Wednesday, the 16th of June at 7:45 UK time. Over to you, Graham.
And of course, this is match day 2 that we're entering. So match day 1 is pretty much all wrapped up in all the groups. But I mean, we're not really interested in the other groups. This is Italian Football Talk. So we will be purely looking at Italy, the Azzurri, and their group, which is Group A at Euro 2020. And of course, we've pretty much recapped entirety of Turkey and Italy, so we don't really need to touch on that as much. So most of our focus is going to be on the other game that was on match day 1, which was, of course, between the other two sides in that group, Wales and Switzerland. Now, it ended in a 1-1 draw, which, you know, it didn't really benefit either side. It's not really going to threaten Italy. If anything, the only team that really benefited from that was Turkey. You know, Turkey get hammered 3-0, and then the other fixture ends in a draw, which keeps their hopes alive of progression. So we'll have a little quick look at Switzerland's formation, the way they set up, and, you know, who could potentially be a threat for the Azzurri going into this game. So against Wales, Switzerland set up in a 3-4-1-2 formation. You would imagine, you know, obviously when Switzerland aren't going to be in possession, that back three is going to switch to a back five. You would imagine so anyway. You know, you've got Rodriguez on the left, you've got Babu on the right. So, you know, that's basically your full-back, wing-backs. But, you know, you could see with the way the Azzurri set up, you know, a 4-3-3 formation, you know, 3 attacking players up front. You know, it could potentially pose a threat to Switzerland.
Yeah, I mean, I think the danger men for Switzerland is Shaqiri, a Liverpool player, and Xhaka from Arsenal, and possibly down the left flank, Rodriguez coming out. But I'll be honest with you, Graham, I just, if Italy continue the way they play with that fluidity, the calmness, the composure, and don't let you know, if we can't break Switzerland down the first half hour, don't let it get to them. I can't see us not breaking down Switzerland. I mean, the Switzerland of the old, of the past, obviously, banana skin with Fred, that always caused trouble with bigger teams. This Swiss team, I can't see it happening. I think from judging, as you mentioned, the game against Wales a few days ago, they dominated the match. It's almost 70% possession, 500 odd passes, you know, but it was pretty much, there wasn't that progressive, you know, forward attacking type football. So for me, I think Italy should be able to overcome Switzerland with very little difficulty. So he says.
Yeah, in no way are we going to be jinxing that at all. But I mean, like, you know, for comparison, when you're talking about stats, I mean, like, I'll quickly go back to the Turkey-Italy result. I mean, Italy had 24 shots in total in that game. Of course, only 8 were on target, but that's still a good percentage. And you're imagining if Italy have stats like that against Switzerland, then surely at least I would say 2 of them are going to go in. And then, of course, for Wales, Switzerland, the stats for that, shooting-wise anyway, for Switzerland was 18 shots for them and only 4 on target. So, like, it goes back to the old adage, like, you can have as much of the ball as you want. But, I mean, we've already seen in other games, like, for example, Spain, Sweden, in their group, you know, you can have all the possession you want. If you don't do anything with it, if you don't put it in the back of the net, then it's meaningless. It doesn't really mean anything.
Exactly. And to me, you could be playing stale football, could have 20% possession, but if you get the ball, you know, the ball at the back of the net, 1-0, that's all that matters. And especially in international tournaments, 3 points is big. Talking about points, Italy just need 1 point off this game tomorrow to qualify for the next round. I can't see Italy being happy staying with 1 point. I think we need momentum. I think we need to build. And I think it would be nice now to lead into the lineup for the game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got it spot on for the last prediction. So let's start up front because I know there's talk of Verratti showing progress in training for coming back from his injury. But like, personally, I think it's a bit too soon. I think you're the same as well. Like, too soon to rush him in. Like, match day 2, you want to get the first 2 games 6 points, and then that's you set up for guaranteed qualification. If you win first 2 games, then you've only got 1 game left, and it's a bit of a rubber match. You know what I mean? Where, you know, you can give some guys minutes like a Verratti, give them some match fitness, and, you know, get them back up to scratch, because it doesn't really matter if you win, draw, or lose the final game.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And I think if we say it's time from the front, I think we're looking at the go-to man again, Ciro Immobile.
Oh yeah.
Played really well in the first game, scored a goal. He's on confidence. And remember, he's also scored in the Czech game in the friendly about a week ago. So I can see Immobile spearhead the attack. On the left, we will have Insigne. Again, had a decent game against Turkey. And he finally got into gear and managed to hit that ball sweetly for that goal. And then the right, which we were talking about the last time, again, I feel Berardi will be starting again. I don't know what your point is.
$1 million question. Berardi or Chiesa? So Berardi again?
Berardi again.
I mean, it's a case of it's no broke, don't fix it, right?
I was about to say that. Why, we played well against the team of Turkey. We talked about this in the previous preview. Turkey is a solid team, and we managed to really play that football. And we kept that composure. So I think we're both in agreement. I think Ciro Immobile up front, Insigne on the left, right, Berardi.
Yeah, definitely. Totally in agreement for the front three. Because, I mean, Berardi was so important for two of the goals at the very least. The first own goal from Demiral, and then I believe it was him that initially crossed the ball in. I can't remember who it was to, possibly Spinazzola, for Immobile's goal. So, I mean, keep him on. He didn't do anything wrong. I mean, if you could have arguably 2 assists, you're doing something right, especially at this level at the Euros.
So if you talk about the assists, let's look at the midfield. What's your thoughts on the midfield?
Well, I said earlier on, Verratti should be on the bench, hopefully. Bring him on for the final 10 minutes or something like that, depending on how the game is going. I thought Italy were pretty much in control for the majority of the game against Turkey. The midfield looked comfortable. The defence was so sound that you had Chiellini and Bonucci coming forward. So I would go with Jorginho in the centre again, Barella on the other side of him, and Locatelli again.
Yeah. To your point before, why fix if it's not broke? So, yeah, I think that works. I think Verratti will see him maybe on the 70th minute. Depends how the results are. If it's 1 or 2-0 for Italy, I can see Verratti coming in, getting a few minutes under his belt, string a few passes, just get that tempo, that match fitness as well. Because, as you know, match performance to practice is completely different. The pressure's on, it's got the opposing team who wants to win and wants to score. So it really does depend on what we're doing around the 70th minute mark. So if we're 2-0 up, I can see even 1-0 up. As long as we're winning the game, I think Verratti will come on for a few minutes to warm up. So to get that game under his belt. Apart from that, I can't see, like you, can't see any changes. So I think we can go back to the defense. We talk about the defense now. One big change, I think, will be Di Lorenzo when he came on the second half. Because obviously Florenzi had a bit of a slight niggle, an inflammatory muscular injury on the right calf. So I don't think he will be playing that game. He'll be rested. So Di Lorenzo will come on, and we'll have the pairing again of Chiellini and Bonucci. And to echo my point, not to sound like a broken record, Switzerland are not exactly a team full with pace. So I think Chiellini, with his experience, and he had a good game against Turkey, and Bonucci, that great partnership, that's to proceed again. And then, of course, you have, who's on the other side?
Spinazzola.
How can I forget? The man who's done absolutely wonderful in the first game. I should have picked him in my fantasy team. But yeah, Spinazzola on the right. So there we go. Yep. So again, the only change is the Florenzi out for this game due to injury.
Yeah. And of course, we'll have Sirigu in goal. I'm kidding. Donnarumma, the goalkeeper, that goes without saying.
Yeah, Donnarumma again. But to be fair, we can't really talk much about Donnarumma. He didn't do much in the first game, so...
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to jinx it, but, hopefully he doesn't have too much to do again against Switzerland.
No, I think, if we continue to the form we were playing in, I think we'd be doing very well. And again, there was a lot of corners, by the way, for Switzerland against Wales, but I just think because Wales is just poor in defence. So I think, hopefully, Donnarumma won't be doing much tomorrow on the game.
Well, I don't really see anyone in the Switzerland lineup posing like too much of a physical threat. I mean, like guys like Chiellini, they're tested. You know what I mean? Like, he's not going to be phased by corner kicks and stuff like that. He's been defending them for God knows how long now. And then he's got Bonucci by his side as well. So Like, I don't really see too many issues from set pieces.
No, and I think also just would take a pinch of salt with these stats, especially international stats. Italy against Switzerland. Italy has won 28 of the games, drew 22, and Switzerland won 7. So, we've played each other a lot of times. But that you take with a pinch of salt, right? Because international football completely different to club football. So the bookies look Italy as the favourite to take the win. But saying that, what's you're a betting man, Graham? What's your prediction for tomorrow for the game?
Well, I'm never, ever going to encourage people to part with their money for a football result, that's for sure, especially after what happened to me on Monday. Yes, Monday. I'm not going to talk about that. Italy. I can't see any other result other than an Italy win and a clean sheet on top of it. 2-0 for me.
And what's the scoreline? 2-0. Yeah, I agree. I'm with you on that one. I think it's a 2-0 win for Italy. We qualify, 6 points in the bag. And the game against Wales will just be kind of, standard practice. We'll probably string in a few younger, players to get some time. Even Raspadori, you might see play up front, but who knows?
Yeah.
For the game against Switzerland, yeah, I agree. 2-0, a comfortable 2-0. Let's not be complacent. It's just looking at how we're playing. If this was the Italy of old, I would be a bit more wary and cautious, but I'm quietly going confident against Switzerland. So
yeah. This is the Italy of new. They don't settle for 1-0 results. They don't, go out for a clean sheet, just settle for one goal and then shut up shop, defend, park the bus. That's gone. That's long gone. And the neutrals and the untrained eyes are finally coming to realise that this Italy team, they want to attack and they've got the players to do it and the players to hurt you.
Yeah, and again, a lot of eyes have been and ears have been pricked and eyes have been open about the Italy game against Turkey. But let's not get carried away. I think let's put Switzerland to bed, 2-0, and that's 5 goals in 2 games, 6 points. Very unlike Italy, and then we can enjoy the final game in a few days after that. So, yeah, let's see how it goes against Switzerland, against the Swiss cheese boys.
Well, that's our preview done, guys. We'll be back for the recap. Of course, hopefully we'll be recapping another top performance by the Azzurri and hopefully another win. And then we'll see how the group's shaping up as well, because of course there's another game taking place in that group, and that is Turkey and Wales. So we'll see where Italy stand after tomorrow. Ciao for now, guys.